So this is the railway room. And we'd better start with a few shots of Danby, I think, including, of course, the park containing the statue of Vic Pellen. We start our railway journey, of course, at Holyoke Station, and in order to travel on the trains we must go through the booking hall, which you see in this shot. And then we emerge on the platform 1. Stand on platform 1, we see Sir Walter Raleigh arriving with the London train. Now, with all the passengers aboard, the London train is set to depart. Now. As it does so, the local arrive on Basingstoke. Here we are. Okay. And here we see the overbridge at the eastern end of Holyoke, and from this vantage point we shall have a good view of the goods yard and the engine shed and beyond. Here we see the goods yard being shunted by a small tank, whilst beyond we see the goods yard. The entrance is the Royal Mail line, the Pride of the Line, and other locos in the shed. With beyond the coaling station, one has just finished coaling. Also on the shed line we see a class C2X and an Evening Star type freight loco. Other engines on shed include an M7, a Schools and a West Country. We now come back from the shed and see in the foreground the shed master's office, the bike shed and the canteen. Includes KD Flavel's welding and machine shop, as well as Weatherall's chemical plant. A good deal of industrial traffic is of course generated in this area. We see Yarnbrook Station, a small through station with the goods headed by a ski-car logo bundling through. Beyond the Yarnbrook Station are stock sidings, and in the distance the village of Yarnbrook with its church, railway cottages and the farm. The farm is complete with herd of Friesians, byre, milking shed and tool shed. One station is Playford, which we see here on the single track branch, situated in farmland. And as we come round to a view of the small goods yard, we see on top of the hill is the Playford Wood, and a vigilant gamekeeper can be observed watching the train, presumably. Here we see a close-up of the station building with its fully detailed waiting room. On the end is the station master's house with his garden beyond. The passengers are awaiting the arrival of the Granddads Line train, which is even now approaching, drawing into the station with its two-coach train. And the station, we see the village and the pub. This one is called the Bell, with some yuppie customers outside. They must be greeting each other, I think, and we'll be going shortly into the saloon bar. At the other end, towards the telephone box, may be seen two rather more plebeian customers. That the pub is in fact quite well patronised, as a view through the windows of the public bar will show. Beyond the pub, the Danby Road winds down the hill and past the farm gate. Beyond the farm gate, a lane leads to a number of other buildings in the distance, whilst in the foreground we see a herd of Frisians going down to water. A general shot of Danby town, with Danby in the distance, and the fast train is passing through towards Holyoke. Danby also has a public house. It has a police station, a bank, a cooperative store, and a group of timbered houses by the village green. And also to be observed is the Star Garage, whose premises occupy the space under the station to the left of the bridge. Newly installed Yarn Crossing signal box, which has a fully detailed interior, complete with levers, signal and cupboards, and all other gear. So, okay, to the east of Holyoke is the Yarn River, with a small park, and on the left the village school, which has one detailed classroom. No children are visible at the moment, except the one remaining to complete some unfinished work. On the other side of the river is the manor house, which has its own stables, has its own rather pretentious gardens, and the vegetable garden being well supplied with manure from the stables. The stables have been partly converted to serve as a garage for Dr. Beeching's cars, including a vintage Bentley and a Mercedes. The rose garden at the rear is the pride and joy of Hoskins the gardener, here being addressed by of the boss himself. Approached by a driveway, guarded by some handsome gates and by the lodge, which for the lodge keepers convenience is situated opposite the pub. And beyond the pub we see a builder's yard at the back of Danby Station. Danby Station is unusual in that its platforms are connected by subway, and the long approach can be seen on the right hand side. Here we see a Danby Station serving passenger traffic only, goods being handled by the yard at Holyoke, and beyond platform 1 is the Amos Pellen Park with its statue of Amos Pellen, the famous missionary.